Adventure Camping Tactical Nut here, and yes, I'm back out in Uwharrie National Forest. This time I am at the Wood Run campground, which I think is going to serve me a lot better, especially for finding firewood. I've been here for a while. I wanted to get started filming right away, but apparently this is the main hub for every cyclist in the world to come and stop and take a break, or to unload and head out and to leave from. So finally just cleared out, I can start filming. I'm out here because I got a lot of new gear to test. This hydration pack, military issue tarp. I've got a survival hammock under there. Got a pair of binoculars that I'm going to test out from Humvee, and hopefully you can see new leg holster. I've been wanting one of these for a really long time, and of course this one's a military issue as well. And all of this is brought to you by Adventure Camping's new sponsor. Yes, that's right, we do have one now. How awesome is that? And so now, Jasmine's Military Surplus, I'm sure if you've watched any of my videos, you hear me talk about all the stuff I've gotten from there. And so far, everything that I've used, I've loved. So, I mean, military gear, we all know it's bomb-proof, but I still want to try it out and see how it works for me, and how possibly it could work for you. Everything I'll do in separate reviews, but you know, today we just had to get out and test, and I'm going to try to do this more often so that we could bring more stuff to you. So now I've already had lunch, ate a couple of hot dogs, had some snacks, but now that I can actually get filming, it'll be time to pack up and head out and start doing some real hiking, right? Because especially with this leg holster, I really want to be able to test it out and see how it goes. So hopefully guys, come along, have some fun, and we'll see you out on the trail. Okay everybody, if you've been with the channel since the beginning, this area that you're looking at right now is where I was hiking one day while I was doing the test for the survival kit 3 days in a can. And on that trip I found a dog, and his name was Kodiak. Great German Shepherd, extremely well trained, really well behaved, friendly. And it was this campsite that I came to that I found a bunch of guys in like a little hammock village. And one of the guys, there was only one guy here at the time, but all the hammocks and stuff were set up at the time. But he had some food that I could use to kind of keep giving Kodiak so that he would stay with me until I found his owners. And later that night I eventually did, which was pretty cool. It was very cool experience to be able to reunite a dog and its owners, because you could tell they were really upset because he had gotten way far away from them. So now that I've revisited this spot, this is definitely a place I'm coming back to camp. It's only about a 10-minute walk from where I was set up back there. So you can't, even though this is a gravel road, you can't drive back to this spot, but if you park your car there and hike in, that's not bad at all. This perfect spot. There's a little stream that runs down right there. Well, it's barely moving, but if you got a filter, you got plenty of water. Or if you just don't mind boiling it. Either way, it's good. But man, I'm glad to be back outside. Now that I've been fully cleared by the doctor, I can get back to all the good stuff, and that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so if I see anything else really cool, this is what the trail looks like now. If we see anything else interesting, I'll let you know. All right, so it looks like I come up on a trail called Super Tree, going that way. I've never taken this trail before, so let's check it out. I always like finding new places to go out here, and this definitely fits the bill. And by the way, I'm testing out a new bug spray that I've never used. I think it's called Prometheus, I think. I'll show it later in case I just pronounced that wrong. But you spray it all over your clothing, and it's supposed to kill and repel ticks chiggers and mosquitoes. If you've ever had chiggers before, you know what a horrible experience that is. So I sprayed the crap out of my clothing. So it better work. Alright. Looks like it must turn into the woods. Yep. Here we go. Get back to you in a bit. Okay, so the old super tree trail seems to be very short because I'm already at the end of it, but it does run into the Dutchman's Creek Trail, which this must be towards the end of the one. I used to always take this trail, me and baby Glock. Every time we came out here, this is the trail we took. There was never, or very rarely, it ever seemed to be anybody on it. So that way it was easy to camp and shoot and stuff like that without disturbing other people. But I guess it runs across and runs parallel. There's a sign for Super Tree there. And then Dutchman's Creek running right beside it. Well, decisions. Which way do I go? I think I just might go back down Super Tree and then continue up that path I was headed to begin with. This one was very windy. Guess about the best way to describe it. Man, what a beautiful day. I hope everyone is enjoying the Labor Day weekend. And if you're having the chance to get out like I am and do some camping and hiking, later tonight gonna do some shooting. I always just like to wait till the early evening because most of your hikers and cyclists have left, or really early in the morning is a good time because there's not that many people up moving about. So, and where I was camping, there's a lot of people going in and out. So I'll be hiking back up this way to find me a fun little spot to go. Alrighty. Okay guys, just got back from a hike. Probably did, I think, between 6 and 7 miles. Beautiful day for it. I'll tell you what, it was the perfect weather. Only been like in the mid 80s, so not too hot. Humidity has not been bad, so I've been happy about that. Hydration pack, completely comfortable, although I expected it to be. Almost any military piece of gear I've ever used seems to work extremely well. But I wanted to give you a quick look at the tarp that I'm using tonight. It's the Digital Woodland Camo. It has snaps, 6 on each side. Hopefully you can tell you have shock cord here on each one of the tie-out points, and there's 2 on this side, 1 on the corner, same on the other side. So you got plenty of shock cord and tie-out points and attachment points. Under here we have the hammock, and it's just one of those net hammocks, but this is something that I would say would be perfect for a bug out bag, fishing trip, you know, something like that, survival kit, because to be honest with you, I'm not expecting to get the most comfortable night's sleep in it, but the whole point is to test it out to see, is this usable, is this a good idea for a survival kit, a bug out bag, something like that. Because as you know, obviously, you know, just at least my philosophy, your bug out bag needs to be a weight that you can easily carry for a long distance, right? Because that may be the scenario that you need. Or even if it's a survival kit, the same thing. You may have to walk a really long way, and if you can cut weight using one of these, well, that's awesome, right? Because it's the main thing is just to get you off the ground and give you a better night's sleep than laying on the ground. I put my sleeping pad in it just to kind of stretch it out, and because it's not the widest hammock in the world, or the longest. I mean, I'm 5'9", and I take up most of the hammock, so we'll see how that goes tonight, and I will let you know in the morning. But yeah, hiking with the, hopefully you can see, wish I could see the what the GoPro sees, but hiking with this leg holster, I mean, what, 6-7 miles and no issues whatsoever. Didn't get uncomfortable, wasn't chafing at all. Although only time will tell for more uses, but at least I was getting a good idea of what it feels like and how it's going to perform. Later on, there's still one car here. Other than that, I'm the only one. Nobody else is camping. So I may not have to go too far to do some shooting later on. So that'll be awesome. I found a field a little ways back. But for now, I just wanted to come back, relax, kick it for a little bit, and just enjoy the outdoors. Love testing gear, love being out here doing it, and love telling you about it. So stick around and we will find out what else happens. Okay guys, it's the next morning. Looking at about 7:20. Yesterday it was a great day, had lots of fun, all the gear was working great. Really enjoyed being out here again. I really like this campground. Finding wood was a lot easier than being at Yates Campground, so fire was not an issue at all. For the hammock last night, just like I predicted, not the best night's sleep in the world. It's a rather small hammock, so if you're, I'm 5'9", so if you're shorter than me, I'd say around 5'7" or a little bit shorter, the hammock would work really well. But I was kind of maxed out in the hammock, so there was times where I had like 1 foot on the ground or just trying to cross my feet while I was laying down. So total sleep time, maybe 2 hours that I slept really good. Other than that, I was kind of waking up a lot, trying to keep myself adjusted. I had brought a sleeping bag to sleep in, and unfortunately that does not fit in the hammock. So since I used the Czech Army sleeping bag, I took one of the layers out of it and I would wrap myself in that, but it got a little bit chilly last night and that blanket wasn't enough. So that was a major factor in not being able to sleep all that well. I didn't bring clothing, not thinking it was going to get as cool as it was last night, and that little blanket just wasn't enough. So as far as probably what it would be great for, you're going out hunting, fishing, just hanging out in the woods, using it as like a seat, or using it to nap in. You could definitely easily nap in it, but long overnight sleeps a little bit tougher, that's for sure. I am going to get a different hammock to try out to see if it works better, but I mean, if you're in a survival situation, even just getting a couple hours getting off the ground is going to be really important. So it would definitely do that, but like I said, if you're taller than me, it's kind of ain't going to work for you. It's not long enough for that. But it's really easy to set up. I will say that, just has a couple of nylon ropes. I'll do a little more of a tabletop later on to show it to you a little more in detail. But you know, tarp did its job. Yeah, it could be tighter, but from the best place I could find, the trees are too close together to really stretch it out to its max like it's supposed to be. But it did keep anything from falling on me, that kind of stuff, like what you would normally use your tarp for. And it didn't rain, so I didn't have to worry about getting wet. Other than that, had an awesome time. Now it's time to head to the house and spend some time with the family. And hope you enjoy your Labor Day, just like I will. And in the meantime, guys, be prepared, have fun.